Hey y'all, it's Amy. Thanks for joining me again this month for Nate's Art Lab Collab with our guest artist, Gina DeLuca. They have challenged us just to make cells this month. Do whatever we want to do, just make some cells. And I'd like to add just have some fun in the process. So I decided to do a swipe, and I apologize for my messy mat there. I've been very busy painting, and I'm not in my own studio, I'm in somebody else's, and I just didn't want to waste any puppy pads. So what I've already done for you today is I have already put my base coat on. I think we're all pretty familiar with doing that. So that is just a slot paint. So that's paint from other paintings mixed up to get this kind of custom color. But if I were to guess, I would say there's a whole lot of Payne's Gray in there. And maybe even some Prussian. It looks a little lighter than it is in person. That's why I'm guessing it's got quite a bit of Payne's Gray in there. So I'm laying down my colors that I want to swipe through. That first color I put down is, I believe, Turquoise from Golden. I am using leftover paints, and so I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of has that look to it. So if you were to recreate this, that's a good choice for you. Then I've got DecoArt 24 karat gold, and then I have a Pearl White from Amsterdam. And then I'm also dipping into my Aussie Floetrol and Amsterdam Oxide Black mix. And as always, I've got my recipes down there in that description box. You can find everything you need there. And while you're down there, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. And if you'd hit that thumbs up button for me, I would really appreciate it. And share my content. You can share it with your friends, or maybe you have someone that you love to paint with or want to paint with. I've got some really good kind of basic videos, and I share my recipes. I feel like we're all learning, and the best place to start is from a really good recipe. And then the more you cook or the more you paint, you don't need it as much. But if you're a beginner in fluid art, I really do think that recipe is so helpful and a really good place to start. And then you can start changing your own recipe up a little bit. Okay, let's get back to the business at hand. So I have already started swiping. So what I have here is I have a paper towel that I have cut, and it's 2 inches wide by 4 inches long. And I dip that into my cell activator, which again, the recipe is below. I dip it, let it drip a little bit, and I drag it across that paint to make those cells. What you're seeing me do there is I did not add enough paint at the beginning. I was being a little too frugal. So I'm going back because I didn't like those swipes. They weren't very exciting. So I am layering my colors down again, just right over it. And then I've taken that dipped paper towel, and now I am just slowly swiping over. And I've kept this in real time for this portion because I want you to see that you don't have to rush. And my 24 karat gold in here is a little reactive. As we all know, she's bossy. And that first layer of paint I put down, I didn't think I had enough of anything, so I overcompensated a little bit the second time with that 24 karat gold from DecoArt, which is one of the must-haves if you're fluid painting. So I am just gonna hush up for a bit and let you guys watch, and I'll pop in if I feel like there's something you need to know. Now that it's dry, I feel like it needed something else. So what I'm gonna do is add some Crackle Ground Medium. And what I have is from DecoArt. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour it in that negative space that's in between the swipes. Now that I have it poured out, I'm going to go in with my wooden stick and spread it a little bit, making sure that I have it even so it dries nicely for me. And once I'm happy with the way I've spread it out, I'm going to set it aside to rest overnight, and that will give it time to create all those nice cracks we're looking for. Now that our crackle ground has set for 24 hours, I'm going to take some of the Pebeo gilding liquid and just brush it into these cracks. You can also do this with a little bottle and like a needle tip on it. That is actually a really great way. I just couldn't put my hands on it at the moment. So I'm just using a fine tip brush, and I even change in a minute and I'll go with an even finer tip just to fill in all those little cracks for effect. So my camera failed me, but I took that base coat and I painted my crackle ground that was white with the base coat. So here we have it, guys. I'm not sure if she's done, but she's done for now. I'm gonna stare at her for a little while and decide if I wanna add on. But thanks for watching today. Thanks for being here for our collab. Be sure and follow the playlist in the description box. And we'll see you next time down on the canvas.